Bagfuel, baby.
When should an artist or a label give up on a single? Because I see people say, I got a single coming out. And I'm asking you two guys, because y'all really had hit singles. When is it time to give up on a hit single? Or never. I agree.
Okay, never give up on a hit single. Never give up on a hit single because it's all about timing. But that doesn't mean don't stop putting out more. Just don't give up on the old one. Don't stop pushing it. Don't stop promoting it. Don't stop none of that shit.
Now, the reason why I ask, because I've seen artists, they put out something, it might not work within the first 2 months, and they just...
That's not long enough.
Yeah.
Pause.
And I always remember what Little John did with that album, with that single, that he worked. Nobody...
Which one, Bia?
Yeah. And he just kept pushing it, and then...
But Little John was in a special position to do that.
I understand.
He already had relationships with DJs. He was at Jermaine Dupri's label. He was, you know what I'm saying? He already had musical background and he had relationships that he could keep pushing.
Think about Lola Brooke's single. People, when they first heard it, we like, this is 2 years old.
But they never really pushed it the other time. When she got with Sav, that's when they put the money behind it.
But there's some people, if they don't rock within the first 2 or 3, it took people to say,
they don't got no money.
I get where you're coming from, but what I'm trying to get you to understand the mentality is some people be like, oh, it ain't work. And even though it takes money, that single was moving already. They were able to...
What's moving?
All right, listen. The Lola Brooke single, they were able to identify and come back. It had been out already, and they repackaged it. There's some people like, oh, it didn't work. We ain't gonna put no money behind it.
She would have did the same thing. That's what you don't understand. When they decide to like you, you put a record out, right? Ray Daniels catches you later on. You put the record out. It doesn't even matter. Let me hear your music. That's the record. Yo, that's 2 years old. I don't give a fuck. Don't nobody know about it. All right? You bring it into the label. Yo, this shit could work. Leave the bitch on it. Bong, 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 bong. Now we gonna put the money behind it. That's all.
I agree with you on that.
That's all that is. But you're talking about people who's just taking it and just trying to throw it out. If Lola Brooke if she didn't bump into Sav or whatever the situation was to bring them to the label to be able to put the force behind it, it would have been the same situation.
All right. So then we've had artists who put out singles and it don't work. Is it just because it didn't work? The public don't fuck with it?
There was no connectivity.
All right.
Connectivity is what makes a record.
But what type of artist are you talking about? Because Lola was a different situation. You talking about somebody
but we've seen
who had something prior and trying to
but we've seen artists put out a single, it's on the radio, and then we don't hear. Like, perfect example, what's the dude?
Why things don't work? It could be 50 million things.
Yeah,
it could be, okay, they run out of the budget. The person at the label who signed you gets fired and they not putting no shit behind you no more. It doesn't connect to the shit. The DJs don't fucking like it. It's 50 million reasons why a record's not going to work.
But that's why I said, when should you give up on it? That's really the thought process of it.
Never.
But I don't know if Esso agrees.
If you ain't got no money.
I agree with you.
Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story I just heard? Last week? It was ill. Juju told it to me. It was a guy who I guess had a record deal in the 80s. He put the song out in the 80s. This is when there was no DIY. This is when he was on a label. The record didn't work. The label dropped him. The song became the song of the South African Revolution, or this is crazy. And Nas sampled it on his album, but it became the song of a South African revolution, and they basically used the song was the motivation to overtake the government. And in South Africa, this guy's like Michael Jackson. He never knew he's working a construction job. And then somebody got in touch with him because they thought he wasn't living. And they found out, and they flew him to South Africa, and he did a show. Imagine working a construction job right here, and he does a show in front of 60,000 people and in a stadium singing this one song. And he didn't even know. So my point is that when you're an artist, instead of just putting out music, find a moment to connect it to. Find him. My little bro, Lil Donald. Lil Donald has his biggest song is "Do Better." Why is that his biggest song? Because somehow it got leaked. It was right around when the time when NBA YoungBoy beat up his girlfriend, and it was like footage of it. And then that song became the song for that moment of ladies do better. You don't have to let a nigga beat on you, and that's why the record works. artists think it's about putting out a song. It's not about putting out a song. It's about attaching a song to something. So when you think about Money Long Made for Me, you think about the videos of people doing it. That's the connectivity. Twin, where you been? So they gave the song a moment for us to share, and now because we seen everybody else post on moments, the song is stuck in our fucking head. That's how going viral works. But if you're an artist, just find a song. Dog, I cannot hear a change is gonna come. When I hear, I was born in the river, I cannot not see Denzel Washington's face with that camera trick that Spike Lee does and knowing he about to die. And then the old woman stops him and be like, we praying for you. Yeah. Jesus got you. Dog, songs need connectivity. And it always needed it, but now it really needs it because it's 150,000 a day. So nigga, you either hitting the lottery or you hitting the spot you wanted to hit and you saying, direct hit, let's keep going. Now let's doing that. So it's not hard, and that's what I'm trying to say. But here's what the problem with labels. What I just said, empowered talent. How can I tell you to sign to me and give me all your rights away and I give you a royalty when I'm telling you at the other hand that I need you to blow your song up? Now talent is like, well, why the fuck, for just this check? That's why the game is being cleansed now. That's why the indies is catching it because you don't need much. Dog, do y'all know Sexy Red is 100% independent? Do y'all know Ice Spice is 100% independent?
How? She signed to Lucian.
No, she signed to Lucian's son. Lucian's son left. He is another guy that don't have to audition.
Clearly.
But how's she independent? Because he left, he took her with him?
Because meaning he's independent because, okay, so what makes you independent is you don't have a promo staff. Like, so what makes a label is having a promo staff, right? Yeah. So like Island Records, for example. Island Records is a major label, but their promo staff is Republic's. That's why if you pay attention when Universal did, they put East Coast under Monty, West Coast under Janik. Those are two guys. You can run your thing, but those are two guys, when it's time to go all the way to the top and promo and strategy and all the other stuff, that's where they come in. So a lot of these, you're independent if you don't have a promo staff. Like Gamma has the same amount of money as probably Def Jam does, but...
Ain't that Larry Jackson shit?
Yeah, Larry Jackson.
But it's two things that Gamma doesn't have. It doesn't have catalog. That's why they bought video.
Yeah.
Because they needed something to come in.
And they're still trying to figure out what to do with video.
We've
gotten the calls.
They still bought it, but they still bought it. But
they talked about wanting to do some business with us too and then never called back.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's weird. Like,
if you're in the video and you see, like, it should be weird to me. You know what I mean?
But my point is this, is that so when I say independent, that just means you're not attached to a major label. Sexy Red has independent, but you got to also look at it like this. The splits are different. The splits are way different. Ice Spice is signed to Lucian's son. Lucian's son, now don't get me wrong, the dad did give him the startup money. He did give him the startup money, but you see he left.
I didn't know he left.
Well, he had Warner now. Lucian, dog, that was the first, like, hold up.
I mean, but that's a major play, so now they own both labels.
No, that's not why it happened.
So now they
Lucian couldn't get the board at Universal to give his son the deal he wanted. Oh, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, like, nobody is in control, man. Nobody's in control, man. That's why we're fucked up. You don't have bosses saying, fuck that. If that was Jimmy Iovine would have said, well, I'm quitting and if I can't give mine.
Tommy Mottola would have been like,
bro.
Suck dick.
Yeah.
I'm done. But Lucian let his son go to Warner. Warner gave him a better deal. Dog,
interesting.
The game, and then guess what?
No one's in control.
Ice Spice is not with Universal no more. She's on Warner now. Nigga, Trippie Redd is on Warner. Ty Moskowitz, when he left Universal to go to Sony, Lil Durk is on Sony now. What's the kid? Rod Wave is on Sony now. They took all their artists to Sony. Those are artists that own their shit. Those are the guys that don't need to audition. Everybody else that has to go in the room and say, hey, this is something I want to do, they're auditioning, guys. Because someone has to say yes, and then that person that says yes controls how the money gets spent. That's the difference. And to be honest with you, I'm not nowhere near the financial place that P and them got to. I'm not going to front like I am. I'm good. But what I will tell you is that's when I started spending my money. And everything that pays me today is something I put $1 in. Not something that you gave me and I helped you and then you gave. No, everything I'm getting paid for is something I put $1 in. I invest in myself.
Can we jump out of the music business?
Sure.